Hi, welcome to ŠKODA Hockey Studio, where it's all about the fans. It's about you, it's about us. We've got some great hosts today, guests today. We've got some guests from all over the world here being fans of hockey, which I am as well. So I'll just let them all introduce themselves.
My name's Griffin Tran. I'm from Tennessee, USA.
My name is Carl Rister from Stockholm, Sweden.
And Josef from Czech Republic.
Welcome all of you. We're live online, so if you've got any questions for the fans or for me, preferably for the fans, although I am a fan too, send them in and we'll try and we'll put them out here for discussion. Where to start? Griffin, have you been a hockey fan all your life?
Yes, it's fairly early in my life.
And who plays in Tennessee?
Nashville Predators.
Of course. How long have they been in the NHL?
I don't know, they were the Oilers, I believe, before the Predators. No, excuse me. I'm not sure how long they've been in the NHL, but I think they came over in the 90s or early 2000s.
Okay. And did you play hockey as you?
Yeah, when I was younger I played hockey, but since then especially I've enjoyed it, and coming off of a great season from the Predators, I've been really keeping up with our players that came over for the World Championship.
Okay, and have you been to some of the games?
I haven't been to any of the games yet.
I guess you don't want to know what happened today, do you?
I just found out.
Well, it's always good to have surprises. A little later on, we'll be having some Belarusians, so we'll get the other reaction to that game. For those of you who aren't watching, the Czechs won 4-1 against, I think 4-1 against France, and the Americans lost to Belarus 5-2, I think, 4-2 or 5-2. I'll check it.
5-2, I think.
And have you been to any World Championships before, or any?
I have not. I watched them closely back in the U.S., but I'm actually really happy I'm in the city that's hosting this year. If that's all I can be, then I'm really happy.
And how are you finding the atmosphere?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it so much. I've been following the Czech team closely as well, so the atmosphere for that is great.
Good. Carl, what? You're obviously Finnish.
Not really. My dad was though.
Your dad was Finnish. Okay. Do you feel any like you should be supporting the Finns at all?
Oh, definitely. If they're playing anyone, I'll support the Finns, or the Czechs, or the Slovaks, or whatever. But those 3 or 4 teams, they're sort of after Sweden my favorite teams.
What is the just being at the game yesterday? I was hearing all this yellow wall shouting things. What is the big Swedish cheer? I kept hearing this thing, but
it's usually Heja Heja Sverige.
Heja Heja Sverige.
Yeah, it's go for it, Sweden, something like that. And which is kind of different thing comes to football, because there's more of singing in football. The chants are longer and people are singing. Hockey, it's just go for it. Which, I mean, fair enough with me. It's not a problem.
Great. And you've been following hockey all your life, I assume.
I suppose every Swede must. It's something we grew up with.
Is there anything else to do?
Very much so, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
And but hockey's always been one of Sweden's greatest sports, and we had tons of brilliant players, even in the NHL or in Europe and everywhere. So it's something you have to follow as a Swede.
And have you traveled to other championships?
I've been to Bratislava when it was there, and obviously I've seen some matches in Sweden when we hosted the championships, but otherwise, no.
And what's your favorite Swedish hockey memory?
I have to say, nobody would remember, I can't even remember the year, but we played a quarter-final against Finland for about 15 years ago. We were down 5-1 in the second period, turned it all around and won 6-5. So that was probably my favorite memory. Otherwise, I mean, Peter Forsberg's penalty in the Olympics in 1984 is something that every single Swede remembers.
Of course. And that was against?
I was against Canada.
I know. Okay, that was a leading question. Josef, you've been to loads of championships.
Yes.
And what's been your favorite? What's your favorite match? What do you remember as your favorite?
That's 1996 in Wien when we win for first time as Czech Republic after we separate with Slovakia and we win first one, and this was after 11 years which we win as Czechoslovakia before, and that was really mad.
And you were there.
My memories as when I read the newspaper, that's almost the same as players because I don't remember anything. we just
and
crying, singing, and jumping, and do something. But
you were
after
at the game. You were at the game.
Yes.
Were there a lot of Czechs?
Just behind the bench.
Ah, very nice, very nice. Were there a lot of Czechs there?
Oh yeah. That's almost the same as in Prague.
And where were you for Nagano?
Home. I was sick.
You were sick at home, but you watched it.
Yeah.
Did you feel better after?
But after years, everybody thinking I was there. And everybody said, that's the famous guy, he was in Nagano.
But you weren't. That's interesting. What is the typical Czech cheer? What happens in
Dr. Ho.
Češi do toho. And in football,
and now last few years is Kdo neskáče není Čech.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Written in a banner across the Nuselsky Bridge after, but I won't go into that. It was morbid humor. That was after losing early at one point. Griffin, what's a typical thing? I'm trying to think if it's different. I'm Canadian, so I had to grow up with hockey as well. What happens for instance, in Tennessee when in the stadium when you're cheering? What's a typical cheer?
We have a lot of off-color cheers, if you will. But I don't know for my.
I thought that was just the policeman. Sorry.
Yeah, for my home stadium we have just like fang fingers and different things like that, but. A lot of the atmosphere is right outside surrounding the stadium, which is a lot of fun. Before and after the games, we have a lot of things going on. Like when we play the Red Wings, we smash a car that's painted like the Red Wings. It's great.
That's good fan culture.
Yeah.
And how do you think the Americans are going to do? You lost to. It's an unusual group because you beat the Russians well and played exceptionally good hockey. And then today you lose to Belarus, Russia, which people wouldn't expect necessarily. Although there are no small teams anymore. All the games are tough.
Right.
So where do you think you're going to be?
That's a good question. I know we'll advance, play in the quarterfinal matches, I guess. But I just think the American team is really young, but they've played a really great tournament. And I was just talking to Carl about it. But the styles are so different as far as. Like when you go to Belarus and Russia and Kazakhstan, they play a lot of a very different style of hockey as far as in the more Western countries, Canada and U.S. and Finland and places like that. It's hard for young players to adapt. I think.
Who do you not want to meet in the quarterfinals?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to. Honestly, I'd like to meet. I can't tell you a team I wouldn't want to meet because I've enjoyed watching the Americans play so much. Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, hey, we're going to be back in just a few minutes. We've got more fans from more places, and thank you very much. Send in your questions. We're ready to answer them whenever you're ready. And we'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back, and we've got a question here for all of you. Why don't we start, Griffin, you've got the mic, so we'll start with you. What has been your most exciting moment so far at the World Championships?
Ooh, I don't know. Like I said, I've been following following the Czechs closely, so I've been watching more of the Czech games, and to pull off a big win over Finland first.
Sweden.
Excuse me, that was the States, yeah.
Yeah.
We pulled off a big win over Finland, and then the most exciting part was the way the Czechs played against Sweden. It was a great match. Both teams played well, and I swear to you, I left the little pub I was at for 3 minutes, and the Finns tied it up with 2 goals, and I came back, and everybody was freaking out. So
Yeah.
that was the most exciting moment.
I know I went to the bathroom last night when it was 2-0 for the Swedes, and I came back and it was 3-0. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just picked a bad time. Carl, what's been your most exciting moment?
Without a doubt, the Swedish Czech game.
Mm.
I mean, I haven't seen that kind of game in a very, very long time. I was also in a Czech pub with a lot of my Czech friends and some Swedish friends.
Mm.
And suddenly someone was shouting because they were leading, and then we were leading, and then we're leading. And it was one of the most exciting hockey games I've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
It's sad, though, that it wasn't a quarterfinal or a final. Because as the system stands at the moment, everybody's going through, and the big teams are going through. You try to make it more sensational than it is. I mean, there are bad teams in this tournament, and we're not going to lose to Latvia, for instance, the Swedes. Not at all. We're not going to lose against Austria.
If you lost to Austria, what would you do?
Get drunk, probably. Very, very drunk.
You've got a Swedish dress on, a jersey, and it's covered with signatures. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I actually met the Swedish team at the Swedish embassy a couple of days ago, and the guys were really nice, and they signed the dress. So it's for my home pub. I'm just loaning it from the pub, but I got the shirt, and the guys were really nice, and they loved it here. Absolutely amazed by the city and by the atmosphere and everything. So it was good, nice meeting them. Really was.
Mm-hmm. Great. I have to say my most exciting moment so far in the tournament had to be last night when it went 5-4 and then 6-4 and then right. Josef, most exciting moment so far in the tournament?
I think the last night, yeah, because I am now working for Canadian team, and so I was just behind the bench, and when was 3-0, and I think they never give up, so let's be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
you were
I know
just behind the Canadian bench. Can you tell us what was wrong with them in the first period? I thought they were all hungover. I don't know.
That's the game that sometimes happens. You can play 10 years, and that's sometimes games.
It just happens.
You couldn't win all the games 5-0 or something. So
well, not against Sweden.
That sometimes happens, but if you are mentally strong and when you are a bit good, and you know you can do it.
Any of those Canadian players speak Czech?
No.
I've got another question coming in. What have you noticed any differences in fan culture between the different countries?
I don't know. Maybe somebody else something.
You've been at the stadium a few times.
I've been twice to the stadium. I must say, the greatest fans were the Latvian fans. I mean, they were hilariously happy, and they were singing and dancing and everything, even though they got beaten by every single team so far. They won yesterday, but otherwise, even though they got beaten, they were singing, they were shouting, and that's my number one, the Latvian fans.
I'd have to agree, yeah.
In the States, it sort of varies. I'm lucky enough to be from a part in the South that's kind of a little hotbed for hockey. We have very passionate fans. We're very loud in the arena, which is the same. I did go up north and watch a game one time, and it was quiet until someone scored, and then 2 minutes of cheering, and then it was quiet again. It was really weird, so it varies all over the States.
Where up north?
I went to, well, it's north for us, I went to St. Louis to watch the Blue Jackets.
North for you.
Yeah.
It always strikes me as odd thinking of hockey being played in the South, but I guess that's just because I'm from way up north.
Yeah.
I've got a great question that's come in here now. Hi, do you have some special fan dance of super winner choreography in case your team win the game. Thanks.
You can show us.
Show us the claw at least. What's the claw?
Well, fang fingers, we have these big, you know, foam fingers like they have in most sports, but it's the predator, so it's, you know, this. And it has these huge foam, obnoxious fangs sticking off, and you have to, you know, do this. But I wouldn't say I have a dance. I will say that in the 2011 World Championship, I lived in Finland for a while, and right before I moved there, Mikko Grenlund scored a lacrosse goal against the Russian team in the semifinals. And I did some serious dancing after that, because I'd never seen anything like that. Running around my house screaming for 5 minutes. So, yeah, it was good.
And could you, for instance, okay, imagine you're either at the stadium or you're sitting in a pub here in Prague with a bunch of your friends. There's Americans, there's Czechs. It's the final. It's 3-3, and there's half a minute left, and the Americans score. What would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do?
Oh man.
Come on.
Alright. First I'd jump up and then I'd probably pull one of these. Like this.
All right, yeah.
So
That's good.
Get some Czechs mad at me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, yeah.
Okay. Carl, what would you do? It's the final, and you're down 1 goal to the Russians, and you score 2 in quick succession.
I probably know exactly what I'd do, but I don't know if the table will hold on for that. But I know because I did it once, and we were playing football, the Swedes were playing football against Italy, and we had to get a draw. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who else, jumped up and heeled in the ball. So I just went down on my knees and just hammered the fucking floor. So that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Good. Papa.
I never know what I do, but I always do something. Sometimes I jump on the ice.
Oh.
What did you do in Vienna in '96?
Jump to the ice.
Okay, I got another question coming in here. Who is the most crazy fan in the world that you know? I'm right now going to say it's Josef. So
I'm looking for somebody else, but maybe Fantomas.
Fantomas.
Czech famous fan.
Fantomas. Yes.
I would go for that madman who goes for the Giro d'Italia every year. Is it the Tour de France? Who's running around dressed up as a devil?
Oh yes.
And
yeah.
it's in the mountains. He must have been taking himself up there, and he's running. He's fat, very fat,
Yeah.
and bearded, and looks like the devil. I don't know why. I don't know what he's doing there.
I know what you mean.
But
I
I think
know
that's the most insane fan I've seen.
As far as the craziest fan, I don't know if I can really pinpoint anyone. If we're talking about different sports, the craziest fan experience I've had is I went to a soccer football game in Italy and got tackled by a bunch of Italians. We were all on the same side, and I had to fight for my life. So that was the craziest experience I've had, and just the unison of singing together and doing all that, like Carl was saying earlier. But I don't know if I can point out one single fan that I know of.
Wow.
But I do have to say that, I mean, there's a lot of idiot fans that they're fighting and stuff, and I'm really glad that that hasn't happened one bit in this World Championships. I mean, they're obviously the most craziest guys, because there's no idea of fighting against fans, even though you're Czech or American or whatever. And I'm so glad that hasn't happened yet, and it won't happen. This championships they're as calm as Prague.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing with football, or with hockey, because there's quite a bit. It's quite a physical game, and yet there's never any big problems between fans. We're going to take another break. We'll be back with some more fans in a few minutes, and so I'm going to refill my water, and we'll see you in a bit. Hi, we're back, and we've got some new fans for you. We have 2 lovely ladies who are from Belarus, is that right? Are you from Minsk? Or?
Yes, from Minsk. Hello, everybody.
And your name?
My name is Kate.
Kate, that's not a Belarusian name. Katerina. I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And your friends?
My name is Tanya.
Tanya. Hi, Tanya. I'm Daniel.
Hi.
This is Carl, who's from Norway. Sweden. Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah. When you do that. So you're here for the championships.
Yes. So we are really glad to have this fresh news about the winning from Belarus team.
But
Congratulations.
wait, that's great. I mean, wait, you're fans and you weren't at the game.
So yes, we are really glad to enjoy here in Prague. And previous year we were hosting in Belarus this championship as well. And so it's a great possibility to come here to visit it.
And have you noticed any differences in like the fan culture here in the Czech Republic and how it was in
Minsk organization? Well, I would say there's some differences. Maybe our fans a little bit more calm or not so shouting. Maybe they have a little bit less different funny clothes, could be. So, but I guess all people, they are all enjoying this process. So.
That's great. And what would you say if you just got the news that you have beaten the Americans, I think by 3 goals? What would you say in Belaruski?
Belaruski, right?
And how would you react? Like really, what's the
Well,
emotions?
everybody will be crazy, and they were never been doing before until this moment, and we are proud.
So
for
what
this
would the
moment.
cheer be in your native tongue in the stadium if you were there and you just won it?
Молодцы.
Yeah.
Молодцы. It means great, and they are cool guys.
Mullet?
We are молодцы. And
Well done.
Molazzi.
well done.
And with enthusiasm that would be Molazzi! Oh,
Молодцы.
Molazzi!
Shouting around.
Oh, that's great. And have you been to some of the matches?
We visited yesterday this match from Sweden and Canada.
Why do you look disappointed?
Well, we're not, because the first time was really great, but in the end, the position was.
It was a fantastic atmosphere, though, and
That's right.
the wave of noise from the Swedish fans was great.
Enjoying.
Hey guys and ladies, have you ever been in Prague before the 2015 championships, like every year cheering on Old Town Square, and do you like the national mood?
I skipped that question. I've been here for 24 years.
Well, I guess we could say that we come here quite often, maybe not for hockey, but just entertainment and doing some work, whatever.
So you haven't been on Old Town Square when the big screen is up and everybody's watching?
Not these days, but of course. Yeah.
Well, you've got a chance. You can still go. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. Have you been there during this?
I was there when the Czech Republic won the Nagano Olympics.
Ah.
So I haven't been there since then because nothing can beat it.
Everybody remembers that moment. Everybody remembers. I wasn't even living here, but I remember '98 and where I was and when that happened. It was fantastic. Look, it's been great having you all. Thank you very, very much for coming in. Thank you all for watching, for your questions. I'm sorry we're going to miss a bunch. But keep fan-noshing. Keep cheering your team. Stay with it. Enjoy the championships. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the beer. Enjoy Prague. Or enjoy it on your television wherever you are. Thanks for watching.